A lot of people think fixing their credit starts and ends with removing negative accounts. That is one piece of it, but that is not the whole picture. And if nobody has told you that yet, that might be exactly why you still feel stuck. A lot of people are out here trying to get approved for a home, a car, business funding, or even just trying to stop feeling stressed every time they check their credit. But the problem is, most people are guessing. They are looking at a score, seeing collections, charge-offs, late payments, maxed out cards, or high balances, and they are thinking, I just need to get these things deleted. Sometimes that does need to happen, but a lot of times that alone is not enough. My name is Fred, and at Fred Livai Financial, what we do is help people go beyond basic credit repair and build a real financial strategy. That means we are not just looking at what is negative. We are looking at the full picture. We are looking at what is inaccurate, what needs to be challenged, what needs to be paid down, what needs to be built up, and what habits need to change so the progress actually lasts. Because the truth is, a better credit profile is usually built from a mix of the right actions, not just one move. A lot of people come in feeling overwhelmed. They have multiple cards carrying high balances. They might have old collections. Maybe they have student loans. Maybe they have a car loan they are struggling to keep up with. Maybe they have a score that is not where they want it to be, but they do not really understand why. And that is one of the biggest problems right there. A lot of people have never been shown how credit actually works. They know the score matters, but they do not know what is driving it. They do not know how utilization affects them. They do not know how payment history keeps following them. They do not know why their credit mix matters. They do not know why opening the wrong account at the wrong time can hurt them. They do not know why paying off one card might help more than spreading the money around randomly. So what happens? They start making moves without a real strategy. They pay a little here, a little there. They dispute things without understanding what's actually inaccurate. They apply for new credit too soon, or they do nothing at all because the whole situation feels too confusing. That is why I always say this is not just about credit repair. It is about financial direction. Because let's say somebody gets a few negative items removed, but their cards are still maxed out. Their spending is still out of control. They still do not understand when to pay their cards. They still do not have a plan for their debt. They still do not know what to focus on next. That person may still be in a weak position, even if a few things came off the report. On the other hand, let's say someone still has some negative history on their report, but they now understand their numbers. They have lowered utilization. They are making on-time payments. They are building positive history. They have a plan. That person is usually moving in the right direction. That is the difference. At Fred Livai Financial, we take a bigger picture approach. Yes, we look at inaccurate, incomplete, or questionable reporting. Yes, we help identify issues that may need to be disputed or challenged. But we also look at what is going to create the strongest outcome overall. Do you need to reduce balances first? Do you need to stop using certain cards? Do you need to build new positive credit? Do you need to clean up your budget? Do you need a debt payoff strategy? Do you need guidance on what not to do while you are trying to qualify for something important? That is where real strategy comes in, because different people need different solutions. One person may need to focus on getting high balances down because their utilization is killing their score. Another person may need to address errors on their credit report because inaccurate reporting is holding them back. Another person may need both. Another person may actually need structure more than anything else. That is why guessing can cost you time, and sometimes it can cost you opportunities. I have seen people delay themselves because they focus on the wrong thing first. I have seen people apply for loans too early. I have seen people think they were ready for a home purchase, but their profile still needed work. I have seen people put all their energy into trying to remove old items while ignoring the fact that their current habits were still damaging their profile every single month. That is why a personalized review matters. You need to know what is helping you, what is hurting you, and what needs to happen in the right order, not based on random advice, not based on what worked for somebody else, not based on something you heard in a 10-second clip online, based on your actual situation. That is how we approach it. When somebody works with Fred Livai Financial, the goal is not just to make them feel good for a moment. The goal is to help them understand where they stand and what their next smartest move is. That can include reviewing their credit reports in detail. That can include identifying reporting problems. That can include building a game plan to lower debt the right way. That can include education around utilization, payment timing, account structure, and how to strengthen the profile over time. That can include helping someone stop reacting and start moving with intention. Because once you understand the why behind the strategy, everything starts to make more sense. Now you are not just hoping. Now you are not just throwing money at balances with no plan. Now you are not disputing every account just because you want something to happen. Now you are becoming more intentional, and that matters, especially if your goal is something serious. If you are trying to buy a house, you need more than hope. If you are trying to get into a better vehicle, you need more than a quick fix. If you are trying to qualify for funding, lower your stress, or create more options for your family, you need a real plan. And I want to say this too, a lot of people feel embarrassed about where they are financially. They feel like they should have figured it out already. They feel judged, they feel behind. But the truth is, a lot of people were never taught this in a real way. They were handed credit cards before they were ever handed financial understanding. They were told credit matters, but nobody explained how to manage it properly. So if you are feeling overwhelmed, that does not mean you are lazy. That does not mean you cannot fix it. It just means you need clarity, you need strategy, you need somebody to help you look at the full picture and break it down in a way that actually makes sense. That is what we aim to do. We want people to feel informed, we want people to feel empowered, we want people to stop making blind moves and start making smart ones. Because when you understand your situation clearly, you move differently, you make better decisions, you stop panicking, you stop chasing shortcuts, and you start building something real. That is what this is really about, not just deleting negative items, not just chasing a number, but building a stronger financial foundation so that when opportunities come, you are in a better position to take them. So if you are tired of guessing, if you are tired of feeling stuck, and if you are serious about improving your credit and your overall financial situation, now is the time to stop looking for random answers and start looking for a real strategy. If you want help understanding what is really going on with your credit, what needs to be challenged, what needs to be improved, and what your next best moves should be, reach out to Livai Financial. Let's look at the full picture. Let's build a plan that makes sense, and let's help you move forward with more clarity, more confidence, and a stronger financial foundation.